Good morning, everybody, and welcome to a new edition of VIER TV. Today's topic, VIER and Boost AI, together for optimized customer interaction. My colleague here at VIER, Dr. Ralf Nikolai, and Samuel Dunby from Boost AI will show you how customers can process thousands of requests by using chat and voice bots. For your information, we will record this session, and should you have any questions, feel free to put them in the Q&A section, and we will be happy to answer them at the end. Thank you, and I will now hand over to Ralf. Ralf, good morning.
Good morning, Sandra. Thank you for the nice introduction, and good morning, Sam. It's fantastic to have you here today. We're working together for so many years, and now it's first time that we make a VIER TV session together to show our customers, mainly here in Germany, what we're doing together. It's great. So next slide. Maybe you can introduce yourself, Sam.
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks very much for having me. It's super to finally be on VIER TV and do a webinar together with you. So my name is Sam Dunby. I am head of voice at Boost AI, which means I am working with our voice team on our voice offering, which includes working with client implementations, working on developing our voice technology, working with voice projects, and then mapping out also together with our team our roadmap for voice features, which includes integrations to yourself as well.
Okay, thank you, Sam. Just a few words about me. I'm a product owner here at VIER. I work closely together with our partners, with our partner Boost, to integrate conversational AI on an enterprise level into our cognitive voice gateway platform to enable voice bots. Yes, and of course you can contact me. So we have this product, Cognitive Voice Gateway. This Cognitive Voice Gateway makes it easy to build voice bots using the best technology available on the market. So it starts, of course, with a telephony. Telephony is a beast, so we need to handle it. We need to handle SIP calls, PSTN calls, WebRTC calls, and then we need to transcribe the user utterances on the phone. And we need to synthesize what the bot is saying. For this, we are using the best technologies available from market leaders like Microsoft Azure or AWS or Google Cloud. We also have some on-prem versions for this for data security. We have EML and Nuance. And of course, we have then conversational AI platforms that we integrate to build the bots to do all this work. And one of this conversational AI platforms is Boost AI. And I'm sure, Sam, you can tell a few more words about the company behind Boost AI platform.
Absolutely. So we are a NLU provider. In this case, we have a platform in which we provide to our clients where they will own and manage their own projects. We were founded in Norway in 2016. Since then, we've had really large growth. First, we started with chatbots, which we're all familiar with. And since 2020, we've then also moved into the voice space. This is also important for our partnership. And we have over 600 live virtual agents. And we have offices in Norway, Finland, Sweden, Denmark, the US, and the UK. And to get people a little bit excited, there's a little bit of a Norwegian, Scandinavian video for you as well as an introduction.
It took millions of years for Norway's fjords to form, and hundreds of thousands more for wildlife to appear. But in the 21st century, the rate of change in our lives has rocketed. We live in a world of drive, demands, and data, where businesses need to be both super and human to keep customers happy. A world where we need a responsible helping hand that can reach out to thousands of people. The answer is automated customer experience, and Boost AI makes it exceptional. We help you create bespoke virtual agents who interact with thousands of people at once and get it right every time. The process is effortless, seamless, and intuitive. They can interact in a growing number of languages, providing instant, accurate, and human responses. In a world that demands instant results, you need an AI boost. Boost AI, delivering outstanding customer experiences.
Yes, thank you, Sam, for this introduction. The sound of this is not as good as our voice bots, some of our voice bots. Nevertheless, that was the general overview of Boost AI. A more deeper dive into the platform, the conversational AI platform, that would be very helpful to understand what and how your customers are building channel voice bots with Boost.
Absolutely. So what I have here is an example version of our admin panel. So the admin panel is where users log in, our clients log in, and this is where they build the content and knowledge for their virtual agents, regardless of channel, so chat or voice. I wanted to start with some of the basics. Our platform and kind of our offering is kind of user-friendly. So it needs to be easy for people to use the platform and build really good customer interactions and experiences. And then the scalability, which you talked about as well, is we have clients in production with thousands of intents. So what I mean by intents is this is kind of the main area for our AI trainers, the people using our platform. And this is where this is their intent overview. So here is, intents can be thought as the main topic or subjects that users want to discuss or inquire about when they're asking questions and interacting with your brand. And they represent the underlying purpose or goal behind what they're trying to ask in their user message. And by identifying the right intent, the chatbot or voice bot can understand what the user's talking about or asking about and provide an accurate and tailored response to these users. So our intent hierarchy is on the left here. So this is just an example for an insurance bot. So we have all different types of topics that are related to insurance. We can, for example, go into vehicle insurance, cancel. So cancel car insurance. So you can see the main parent intents, the main topics are quite broad. They're quite generic. And then we can open up in a hierarchy to see more specific topics, more specific pieces of content. This is where it's important for us to be able to understand exactly what people are asking when they're interacting with our system by being very specific in that scalability of large volumes of content. And you can see it is arranged in a hierarchy. It makes it very easy for people using our system to organize their content. But in addition, it's also very helpful for our prediction engine and being able to understand what a user is asking. So, for example, to show you how a user might actually use our system and building content, maybe you are given a pre-built, pre-trained model for insurance, if you're an insurance company. And of course, you can also add new content. So let's say there was animal insurance, just as an example, that is not already inside the platform. Here, this then will be added as an intent. We can move them around and we can see animal insurance. So this is the intent for animal insurance. Here, we would actually add content, the answer that a user would get. And we can have different types. We can have multi-content. We can have videos, images. We can have if statements. So for example, we can do if a user is a particular age, they might get one price if they're under a certain age. And then we can do API connector. So we can connect to your backend systems and understand using databases and know more about your particular brand. So here, this is where we would do integrations or make API calls to help build the content. If I just save this as an example, and to be able to predict to the right intent. So to actually say, when somebody says, I want to know about animal insurance, how do we make sure that they get this piece of content? We then would also then add training data. So we would need to train our intents to understand. So we can add training data sentences ourselves, which you can see in the past, you would add many of these. But what we can also do is using an LLM, So this is one feature where we have LLMs integrated into our system for speed of use and assisting users of our admin panel. We could get then also assistance with building training data. So we'll get, for example, a bunch of new training data sentences, and then we will just add this. So this is also part of being able to have thousands of intents, because the speed of building knowledge and creating new content. Just to finish on the intent part, we would also add test data sentences. This is what we would typically expect people to ask. So training needs to be a little bit more clean. We need to be more specific and make sure we have the right content. Writing test data might be, hi there, I went for a walk in the forest, in the woods, and I lost my dog. Can you help me with animal insurance? So sometimes it's messy, sometimes it's unorganized. We would add test data sentences and train it. And when we train the model, we would compare the test data with the training to see how well our model would achieve before we go live. So it's a QA part of our platform. Before going live, how well is this platform going to work? So that's kind of adding intents, intent hierarchy, training and testing. And then this would then be a particular intent that can be used straight away.
That's very impressive, Sam. I've never seen our customers having that many intents. It's great to see that it's possible with Boost. All your demo is in English. Can we build bots also in other languages?
Absolutely. So we have many languages available in our platform. You can change the language. So if you wanted to go to a different language while building, you would add a different answer for that particular language. And in our settings area here, we can select which languages. So let's say German. Maybe we want to understand German, but reply in English. I know you won't, but for example, here we would reply in German. So you would give the German answer. But let's say that there is a language that we want to understand, but we want to give the English answer. We could, for example, say we understand Italian and we want to reply in English. And then I would toggle this to make it available in our selection here. So we have some bots today that have up to 5 languages on the same platform. So they're serving customers in 5 different languages.
That's nice. That's great. Okay.
I thought I would show you also the analytics board. So this is the AI trainers tool where they find out how well the platform is working and also statistics about conversations that are coming in. So some people may only look at the statistics. How well is the conversations happening? How many unknowns? What intents are typically being hit? It will also then give you suggestions for new intents if it can't find an answer in conversations as well.
So you have different roles for the users of your admin panel.
Yeah, it's very important for enterprise level clients who need to separate roles.
Do you also have a single sign-on?
We have single sign-on, correct. We have multiple single sign-on. We have also privacy and consent settings.
What does that mean? Privacy and consent, what does that mean?
So this is, sometimes clients would require consent from a user before they begin the conversation. We can also do deletion for non-authenticated users. So if somebody doesn't log in during a conversation, for example, that conversation will be deleted automatically. And then also we have data retention settings. So how long we store the data, certain masking settings. Maybe we want to anonymize everything automatically. And then things like for enterprise clients, an audit log. So you can go through what changes have occurred as well during the platform to go back if anything was incorrectly done. Wow,
that's good. That's great. That's great. So can you show how such a bot works, for example, in the chat for a chatbot?
Yeah. So for example, if we had a chatbot here, I could say, can you help me with car insurance? And I just to show you the content that we'll be looking at. Okay, car insurance abroad, for example. So we'll ask the question and then you will get a placeholder, of course. But that will be the content here.
Yes.
So as soon as I change the content, it will then automatically change for customers as well. If this is a general chat, you can see it automatically changes. We do also have staging. So you can make changes that are not live. which also is an extra level of security for building bots.
Mm-hmm.
Thought I would also show you integrations. We have many integrations, things such as different channel integrations, human chat, voice integrations.
Mm-hmm.
In particular, via human chat, I thought I would give you a demonstration as well. Smoothly over to human chat. So let's imagine somebody's having a conversation with the chatbot, but then they need human assistance. We don't eliminate human assistance. It's very important for our clients. What happens here? So in this case, we can then hand the conversation over to many people watching will be familiar with Engage. Once the conversation needs to be handed over, the customer here is asking about canceling a card. In this particular case, they want to say, okay, we want to hand you over to a human, get a little bit of information about the user. And then as you can, on the right, you can see Engage from VIER. And then this conversation will then be handed over to a human agent inside VIER's Engage. So you can see the history of the conversation with the bot. So the human then picks up the conversation with context, and then they can have the conversation directly with the user. And then you can see on the left that the user will see that conversation coming in here as well. So this is seamlessly handing over to a human and passing over context from the human agent inside Engage to the virtual agent on the front end. So these things are important for clients. It's very important that we integrate into existing systems that they have, but also then giving the human superpowers and enhancing the experience for the agent. We're very heavily automating conversations for clients. Some clients have over 50%, almost 50% automation in conversations, but the humans are very important to keep in the loop as they are the knowledge base holders for our clients. So here's an example of where we can do that.
Yeah, that's a very nice integration. And of course, human handover is very important. So that's for the chat automation and human chat. Anything about voice?
Voice, we do have voice. So this is where we traditionally met. It's how our partnership started. So we use, in fact, I can do a demo first. So I know you said the sound is not super. Hopefully you can hear it. If not, I can send out the video. But this is just a very brief example of a voice conversation that is not handed over to a human and automated in the voice channel together with VIER's cognitive voice gateway.
Hey there. I am here to help you with your bank and insurance queries. What can I do for you today?
Yeah, I wonder if you could help me and tell me about contents insurance terms and conditions.
Our terms and conditions are quite extensive. Would you like me to send a text message with a link?
No, that's fine. Can you tell me what insurances I have?
I can assist you with the insurances you have. Please tell me your 8-digit account number.
Yeah, it's 1254, then it ends in 2624.
Can you confirm you said 12542624?
Yes, that's right.
Great. You have home and content insurance with us. Anything else I can help you with?
Yeah, can you tell me the price for car insurance?
As you already have contents and home insurance, I can add car insurance for $100. Would you like to begin the process of purchasing car insurance?
Oh, actually, a competitor of yours has offered me a better price for travel insurance. Okay, so there's an example of an automated conversation, integration to a backend system based upon user input and user information, and then providing an automated call to a user. And in some cases, of course, we may hand that over to a human, and again, we'll pass over information based upon that call. And you can see kind of difficult extractions of account numbers, for example. It's something that is very challenging in the voice space, as you're aware, but overcoming things like that is very important for our clients.
That was a very nice demo for this account number. I wish all our customers would implement it in that way. Often they don't, and then it's much more complicated, and the bot gets lost and the user gets lost. So this is very nicely implemented.
I mean, I agree. I think it's important to have that functionality because we want to be able to remain making the user be able to speak, maybe they're hands-free, but also, as you're aware, we do have the fallback, which is quite simple to use, of typing your account number 2 if necessary. But not everybody, it depends on our clients. We want to work with our clients. And typically what we do when we have a project, we could maybe go visit a client and see what is an end-to-end interaction today and how can we replicate it. And we want to make it easy for callers to an organization that they still experience the same level of interaction that they do today. And the quality of that conversation is not reduced just because it's automated. And this is kind of how we are. It's a very basic diagram. There's much more to it, as you're aware, but kind of seeing that, calls coming into the contact center can be handed over to Boost AI's voice, which is an integration to you guys, and you are responsible for the speech service part, which you mentioned. And then we hold the content management and the NLU part. And it's that loop of conversation of information from the caller, transcribed, predicted, information played back to the caller, and then handed over to the contact center once that is required as well.
Okay, who owns the data if one of our customers trains the bots with Boost?
Yeah,
Are you the owner or?
Yeah, so I mean, all of the technology that we provide is proprietary. So it's our technology, our NLU, and our clients get their own access in their own instance. So all of the data is owned by our clients, and there's no sharing of data. Of course, our clients, we work with our clients. It's like a partnership rather than a biotechnology and then, build and go home. We work together. So clients often share their data with us for case studies and promotion of the company because they're very proud of what they can achieve. But generally, all of the content, everything in the platform is owned by our clients, and it's their own instance.
That's good to hear. Yes. Okay.
Very important, especially because we're talking about enterprise level implementations here. Yes.
So you mentioned large language models at the beginning, generating test phrases. How good does this work?
You do. I mean, we need to QA, as always. We have set parameters where we have training data has to be strict. It has to have the right information in there. Not anything that would. One of the reasons with 1,000 intents, 6,000 intents in some cases, is other companies or other technologies might start to then very quickly get confused between intents because the training data might start to be similar. So part of the hierarchical setup is used for our prediction, but using the NLUs for LLM for training data, you will QA. You can remove ones that maybe aren't relevant. Maybe you don't need 10. We typically add between 8 and 20 sentences, depending on the complexity and specificness. But it's amazing for people building to be able to add content quickly. And we can also use the LLM in a hybrid manner. So we typically focus on our NLU first. It's fine-tuned. It is includes the scalability. It's high accuracy, and we can tune it more than the LLM. But in certain cases where we see that hundreds of intents, or thousands, we can cover most content quite quickly. But it's that really specific information. We may still want to help people when it's probably out of scope of the project. It's not part of the use case, because these often take a lot of time for agents. It takes a lot of time for handing over calls that aren't relevant. Here, for example, if we don't find an intent using our NLU, maybe then we could use the LLM with guardrails, of course, where we could maybe then, okay, we don't have content in the admin panel. Let's use that customer's website of approved content to provide an answer to the user. And we're very transparent when we're using the LLM. Clients need to sign up for it. It needs to be an agreement, but also to users of our platform who are asking questions will also know that this is an LLM answering and where the content comes from. So we need to be able to provide sources for this as well. So that's very important. But generally it is, you can see here kind of the accuracy is highest when using our NLU, but the effort might be more because we're adding training data, we're adding content. And then using the LLM, of course, the accuracy will decrease, but the effort also decreases. So how can we make that combination? Using the hybrid version, this is very helpful. And we can use the LLM, for example, if we have added 1,000 intents, but let's say we've not trained them. We can use the LLM to still predict to that intent without training data too. So it's enhancing the building phase. And then also, how can we enhance the experience by making sure that a user gets the right content from the right source?
Okay, that sounds fantastic. So the best of both worlds is available for your customers.
Absolutely.
Yes. Is there any chance to try this for our customers?
Yeah, I mean,
Play around?
yeah. So it's very important. I think it's very hard to, it's like a car. You test drive a car, right? Before you buy a car. And I think it's really hard for companies to know what the technology can do and how it can benefit them without getting their hands on it and playing around. And, typically we need to let people understand and understand the challenges that they're facing and how we can solve them, and putting it in our customers' hands before they go into production or before they make a decision is quite important. So we typically do POCs, let people have an instance where they can test it out. Of course, now we've released all the LLM features as well. So we're certainly open to letting people play around, have a playground, and see what we can do for their brand.
Fantastic. So with only 4 minutes left, Sam, what would be of interest? Yes, it's exactly this. Some reference cases.
Yeah, so I've put up here just the voice cases on cases that we're working together. So we have a variety of projects together with VIER, where we have municipalities that have thousands of intents, and people can call up and talk to a voice bot with so much content and so many different topics. And then they've focused their efforts on certain topics that are maybe highest volumes, like, for example, the municipality at the bottom, passport help, booking appointments through the voice bot, being able to reduce the amount of calls coming through to human agents and allowing people automation. We have Norwegian Postal Service, which was one of our first clients together, who went live within 8 weeks, just before Black Friday. So if you think about the volumes, that's crazy. And it extended their opening hours to 24/7, which is huge value for someone like a postal service, where people can't only call in the day. And if you think about automation, it's important to keep humans in the loop, but you can't keep humans in the loop when the contact center is closed. So we need to be able to automate and help people outside of office hours. So that's a really super case. The taxi company are doing almost 50% of all taxi bookings in the voice bot together with us. So that's a huge reduction of calls to the call center. And if you think about this, it's a really deep conversation, extracting addresses, booking a taxi. It's a really complex interaction and a really complex conversation design that is a little bit different to thousands of intents, but really deep and far in. So it's showing the kind of diversity of the projects that we're doing together and how vital and how much value and powerful a voice bot can be.
Okay, that's fantastic. Very many different use cases and different customers. I don't think our German municipalities are as far as the Norwegians are, or the Danish are, but hopefully we will be there soon. Also in Germany, that they automate their dialogues and a voice or a chat channel. So thank you very much, Sam, for this many insights into Boost AI and how to build voice bots, chat bots with Boost. So we have a few minutes left for some questions. I have one here. Let me see. The language question was already answered. Okay. When trying the large language models in Boost, is it possible? How can we provide? Is this open AI or are the other LLMs that are in use?
It's we're working on now, so it can be OpenAI. Of course, the hosting location is very important. So we have OpenAI, we have the Azure available, and then also you can bring your own as well. So you can bring your own keys as well and use your own LLM. And I know that there's discussion about adding more as well in addition. So we see the value in having the capabilities, even just on the first level of assisting AI trainers in building content, as being an area. And then, of course, we can have, for example, LLM-enabled chat, which is a little bit more risky. It's hard to fine-tune all the time, and you need to be aware of giving the wrong information and the right sources. But we'll work with our clients to get the best out of their needs, but right now we are working with OpenAI and the Azure instances. Which
Okay.
you go select in our admin panel, so you can get it through Boost as well. It's going to be available to click to use our.
Fantastic, fantastic. So one more question. So usually in your customer organizations, who is using the admin panel and who is building the bot?
Yeah. So what we do is we have a full e-learning platform, which I can also share with you guys after. So if anybody wants to look at our e-learning and take our courses and see how to build in Boost. So we have an e-learning module, and normally it's customer service representatives, somebody who is already knows the customers the best. They know the brand best. They understand how to interact together. You know, we hear the term conversation designer. These people are already designing conversations verbally or via chat live with customers. So we typically train these up to be the experts in Boost platform, and we have assigned people at our company who work with you in your project. So as I say, we don't just give you access and then leave you. We work together with you, but we have clients now with for example, over 15 or over 20 different API integrations that they've built themselves, a big telco, where it's fetching all information about the users, and it's, you know, the postal service has very complex tracking and stuff. So they become experts and certainly have more expertise than I do in building conversations when I see some of these flows.
Yeah, that's great. That's great that you train them to be AI trainers. That saves them their jobs, definitely. Great. So there's one more question. Does the VIER voice gateway do the voice recognition and routing of calls? I'm going to answer this one. Yes, that's right. So the VIER cognitive voice gateway is doing all the voice recognition, the synthesizing. We have more than 100 languages support. We have synthesized voices for more than these 100 languages, and only for German we have more than 100 different voices. So this is all done by Cognitive Voice Gateway. And of course, yes, we are also routing the calls to the for a handover to a human agent, to a call center, or wherever, using the different options that are available for routing. For example, wire SIP refer, wire call forwarding, wire provisioning calls. This is all done by CVG.
Ralf, in CVG, can you bring your own trained speech models?
Yeah, sure. You also can bring your own trained speech models. So if you use Microsoft Azure, for example, and train your speech models, then you easily can bring them, and that improves even the accuracy of the transcription engines, for example.
How long does it take to connect a Boost bot with CVG and call it?
Well, just a few minutes.
Correct.
Yeah. Very easy. Yeah. Yes. So we are already over the time, Sam.
I don't think that matters. Many questions, many answers. Was very interesting. Thank you very much, Sam and Ralf. And thanks to the audience for watching, of course. VIER TV will now go on a summer break, and we will be back on September 15th with a session together with our technology partner Opsych, looking into workforce management. More information can be found on VIER.tv or just by scanning this QR code. At the end, we prepared a short survey and would really appreciate your feedback on today's session. That was it. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Have a nice weekend. And thank you again, Sam, for your time.
Thanks for having me. It's fantastic.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.